The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi,
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Hi, I'm Nico Haan. Good morning, and it's welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
Because we want to recover our natural health, our rights and our freedoms, and I'm Paige Clarke.
Yes, it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater, 64 degrees, going up to 77 today.
It's feeling like spring. In fact, I was running around a little bit yesterday, and what a gorgeous day. And I mean, everywhere I went, I was hitting traffic as everyone was heading west.
Oh, yeah.
To the beach.
To the beach,
to the
of
beach,
course. To
absolutely.
the Clearwater Beach, which is the best beach in the United States.
Yes, according to Huffington Post. Did you see that?
I did. I in fact posted it on Facebook. I was so proud.
I know, we need to be proud. So if any of you guys want to come down and see us, come on down and see us.
Yeah, we're not too far from the beach and the SunTrust building, downtown Clearwater. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you have any questions, anything we're discussing, or if you need to make some suggestions to us, please let us know. You can see me, or you can get me at Nico@TFNN.com.
And you can reach me at Paige@TFNN.com.
And we're taking your phone
questions.
calls. Yep, and we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648. You know, the other day I had one of my clients come in, and she had a cold sore. And I guess it's something that just crops up once in a while with people. And
well, it's not so surprising, because did you know that 70 to 80% of all people have the herpes simplex virus, 1 and or 2 actually.
Yes.
It's just whether or not your immune system is able to staff off the expression of the virus.
Right.
Again, everything is about having a healthy immune system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I've had it. I don't get cold sores anymore, but I've had immune system issues like that. Feeling nauseous, that's one of the symptoms. Sometimes it even triggered by the sun, too much sun exposure.
Yeah, and that's interesting, because we know the sun is very healthy for us,
Yes.
but it's this change. If the immune system is already stressed. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
I don't believe sun is going to bring on a herpes outbreak unless the immune system is already in a state of overwhelm.
Yes.
And that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, and there's foods that trigger this too.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, that article you showed Sarah, the Healthy Home Economist. She showed a billboard. She's actually, Sarah runs the Weston Price Foundation, and she actually,
right there.
Yeah, she actually lives outside of Tampa.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she does. So it was funny. The billboard shows
Cold sore research study.
Cold sore research study. These are doctor groups that are paid handsomely to perform research. Collect, I would say, guinea pigs in humans.
And try different drugs out, is that what you're trying?
To try and find a profitable drug. And there's no doubt, folks, that if the drug company is looking to create a drug for a symptom, a disease, and that's what drugs do, is they suppress symptoms. They never fix anything.
Right.
Then there must be millions upon billions to be made. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there's no doubt. The drug companies are in charge of the United States of America, that's for sure. There's quite a few natural remedies for this.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I found years ago when I had this problem, when I was living out in California, let me see if I can find...
Yeah, while you're looking for that, I just want to say, unlike canker sores, which are typically triggered by too much sugar,
Yeah.
and that's something people always ask me why.
Okay.
It showed me somebody drinks a lot of sodas or high fructose corn syrup,
Right.
they're going to have canker sores, and they're wondering what's going on in their mouth. I would say that people that follow more of a primal lifestyle really don't experience canker sores. Low zinc, right? Because they're
Right.
not eating enough proteins or eating a lot of sugars. But according to the Columbia University College of Dental Medicine, as I mentioned, 8 to 10 people, 8 out of 10 people are going to experience these viruses.
Okay.
And so here you go. There's effective home remedies that can be had.
Yeah, I found one years ago called Herpanosane, made by
Yes.
Dr. Diamond. And I found that to be a great product, all natural ingredients, all herbs in there. And I turned my client onto that. And when she comes in today, I'll find out how it worked for her. But there are a lot of other natural ones here, so let's go through some of those.
Well, did you know what
drugs.
naturally I want to throw in the essential oil. You interested?
Okay. Yeah, of course
The
I am.
essential oil of Melissa.
Of Melissa.
Very expensive. It's lemon balm. Lemon balm is is an excellent remedy to be applied directly to a herpes type outbreak. So
One
there
of
you
my
go.
favorite songs, Sweet Melissa.
There you go.
Okay, so other things are skin icing, cold therapy. I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. So you can use just the cold on your skin, I presume, and that will
Well,
do
it's
it.
kind of creating, lowering the inflammation, and perhaps maybe there's some activity in the cold environment that causes the viral replication to slow down.
That's possible too. Black tea bags, another one.
Another great one is I know a company that makes a product called ViroSure Purium.
Okay.
But it's got a combination of red marine algae.
Okay.
And red marine algae is extremely effective in kind of lowering viral replication.
Okay.
And olive leaf extract. Do you know what
Oh.
olive leaf extract does?
No.
Olive leaf extract, I call it neuters viruses. It makes it so that they can't reproduce.
Okay.
So, again, nature has all kinds of
Yeah, that's pretty
substances
interesting.
that are really
isn't it?
made to.
Now, one of our favorites, this says it's the best cold sores remedy, is Manuka honey.
Yeah, raw manuka honey mixed with turmeric. And
Yeah, mixed with the two. Here we have the combinations again. Remember last time we were talking about turmeric and pepper.
well, that's really, if we stop and think about it, this makes sense because we know that honey and turmeric go well together in healing remedies. It's
Okay.
also part of that golden milk.
And it's also makes a nice little paste of some kind.
And I would probably add a little, to make it even maybe less sticky, add a little bit of coconut oil, which is antiviral as well.
Okay.
To make it a little more comfortable on there.
Anything else they say? I guess that's about it on that. Well, that's pretty cool. Herpanosane, I said, worked for me.
That's a good brand, and it's
Yeah.
really whether you're prone to frequent fever blister outbreaks or not. These remedies that we discussed are much safer
Then the drugs, right.
alternative than perhaps allowing yourself to be part of a study that we really don't know. That's why it's called a study.
Yeah. They have a few drugs listed here.
Acyclovir, pencyclovir. These are all antiviral replication drugs, but some of them have been on the market for quite some time. But there are a lot of side effects. They're nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Well, what are these? Nausea, diarrhea, and headache are signs that the body is trying to detoxify from something.
And those are all symptoms also of the cold sore.
Yeah. So really.
You take the drug, have the same symptoms, but you're cured? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense to me.
What's that saying? You can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. And,
Okay, I like that.
I think we have to start to look at new solutions, and sometimes the new solutions have been in our backyard, possibly growing in our backyard for ages and ages, and been used by our ancestors for ages and ages.
Okay, we're up on a break here, folks. Please go to our website, TFNN.com, and take a look at our newsletter, and I think you'll be interested in getting that. It's only $10 a month. You get
Good
two
stuff.
issues on the first and third Tuesday of each month. And please look at our Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. This is something we feel very, very passionate about. It's a great, great product, and we think you'll like it, so please do that. And we'll be right back. The number here is 877-927-6648. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Clarke with Nico Haan, living a primal lifestyle.
We're living it, for sure.
Hey, Nico, while we're on the subject of rogue viruses running about in the body, I was actually, let's jump a little on the other side, and I'm a little proud of medicine this week, and another great article from Sarah, the Healthy Home Economist. The American College of Pediatricians has taken the extreme and possibly unprecedented step to releasing a disturbing statement. This was just this month in last month, January 2016, outlining its legitimate concerns, folks, about the safety of the HPV virus, the HPV vaccines, Gardasil and Cervarix. They are addressed. They were created to fight the human papilloma virus. Folks, this is huge. And it's just echoing what we that are vaccine safety aware have known, that there's some potential dangerous side effects from this vaccine.
Well, it's a dangerous thing. This is a disease or a virus that is transmitted by saliva, blood, bodily fluids.
Correct.
And so, because the kids are becoming of age where they can be sexually active, big concern for parents, naturally, but I believe these are scare tactics because they're inoculating everybody with this stuff. I mean, young kids, how young are they really starting on this?
Well, it's really, they're pushing for extremely young ages. And it's
7, 8 years old.
It's very disturbing, folks. And, if you really didn't know any better, you'd think there was different motives. There are those of us, and I will share my opinion, that I am concerned that the real motive is perhaps to disrupt fertility in both our young boys and our young girls. And let's take a look. What is the concern? That now, finally, the pediatric organization has come out, the American College of Pediatricians, folks. The connection between HPV vaccines, Gardasil and Cervarix, and premature ovarian failure in adolescent girls within weeks to several years of receiving these shots. Perhaps it happening a few years afterwards makes it harder for people to connect the dots. But the truth is, this group, Nico, has been so concerned that they want parents and physicians to know of its concerns, and it is apparently not confident that vaccine manufacturers or the FDA will do so adequately, so they released the statement, quote unquote, immediately. The Vaccine Adverse Reporting Organization has, a couple hundred reports. We see this all the time. We know that most adverse vaccine effects do not go reported. Either parents are intimidated about doing it, or doctors fail to report them.
Right.
Or they fail to, quote unquote, connect the dots.
Well, I think they were definitely being intimidated to get the virus for their children, and not just girls, but boys. So how is this spread? If, say, a girl 7 years old has the virus, how is this spread by that girl?
Well, that's the whole point. We would assume that most of them are not involved in a sexual type of exchange of bodily fluids. But let me share something with you on the other side.
Okay.
There's multiple strains of the human papillomavirus.
Okay.
Only a very few of which have had any association with cancer. And in fact, the vaccine only addresses a couple of these more, quote unquote, dangerous strains. But if you, again, take advantage of our wonderful world of evidence-based research available in what I call the internet or the consciousness, there are ways that this can be reversed naturally. One of them is to make sure you have proper folate.
Okay.
There's evidence-based research that shows that having adequate folate in your diet, and we know we get those, that's a B vitamin that we get from animal foods, but we also get from leafy dark green vegetables.
Right.
And we need to get forms that we can absorb, not folic acid,
Right.
like we put in the Primal Edge.
Right.
These are important things, folks, to prevent this cervical danger. So how can we protect our daughters from the HPV vaccine?
Well, first of all, the scare is cancer, isn't it?
It is. And
Yeah.
as I said, 80% of people that are infected with any HPV virus, forget about the vaccine, it corrects itself anyways.
Right. So this is just a cancer scare. If you get the virus, if it's transmitted somehow to your child, then later in life she's going to have cancer. I presume it's the ovarian type of cancer.
No,
Is that what-
cervical,
Or cervical,
typically.
excuse me. Okay. So
Which
and
can
of
all
course,
spread,
And
know.
of course, boys can't get cervical cancer, but they're being inoculated not to transmit the disease. Is that the idea behind that?
That's the idea behind that. And, as we mentioned, it's all about cervical cancer, and a lot of people have said, well, folks, boys don't have cervixes.
Right.
So what are we doing?
Most
well,
of them don't, anyway.
Yeah, right.
These days, it's...
Well, the whole point is that we have to be concerned about what the long-term ramifications, folks, are of injecting our children. And maybe we can go look at Facebook. Maybe you can open that up while I read this one thing.
Okay.
Go see if we can find. I'll have to find it. Liam Sheaf, our buddy that we're going to have on the show, and
Right.
in May. He's awesome. He posted a graphic that just I thought was very. It showed this beautiful baby, and then it showed the list of what's in vaccines, and it was and I made the comment when I reshared it. I said, why would our creator feel that there was any need to add all these additives to this being? Look at this magnificentness.
Yeah, but some people might say, well, we've changed the baby so much, we're feeding it different, we don't have the same air quality, we don't have a lot of different things, so now the human beings are coming up with this extra stuff to actually help the baby. That's the other side of the story, right?
Yeah, I guess that could be what some people believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Well, not when you look at what's in the ingredients in the vaccines itself. And I think the fact that there's never really been a study, a kind of safety trial that has connected this too. So we've never had the trial that says that, this isn't true. These things are not going to happen. Due to the clear and obvious problems that not a single safety trial specifically addressing the premature menopause and ovarian failure.
The lack of use of saline placebos to make sure they were comparing, okay, and the majority of study participants in safety trials taking hormone contraceptives would have masked any problems, indicates that there's not a lot of meaningful data on the study of these drugs.
Right.
So the short end of the short story here, the short takeaway from this is if you want to have grandchildren, skip the HPV vaccine.
I think that's a smart thing. And
Yeah.
also, we talked a little bit in the last few weeks about the mosquito problem in Brazil, and also that the Gates Foundation is really hot to trot in putting vaccines in mosquitoes so that we force vaccinations on people. And this is not happening in the United States, but it has happened in
targeted
in Brazil.
populations.
A targeted population
Interesting.
in Brazil for the Ganji fever, I believe it was. Anyway, some strain of
You know, I always
bad
want to
thing,
think
yeah.
if the Gates Foundation truly cared about human life and sustaining human life, why wouldn't they send water and food instead of spending all these millions on vaccines?
Well, there's a lot to that for sure.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree with that for sure. So, let's just...
Well, speaking of mosquitoes...
Well, yeah, we have some plants, and I think that's the way we should open up the next segment, because there's a lot of things, we're talking about mosquitoes, we're talking about all these different viruses, but there are ways to knock down the mosquito population just with plants, herbs, and things like that. And of course, we have the dino trap, which Tom bought the other day. He said, I'm going to get a couple. I had one in my garage.
I don't know what that is.
Well, a dino trap is a cute little trap. It has a little fan inside. It has these black lights. And the black lights attract the mosquito, and the little fan pulls them in and puts them into a drop box, and they can't get out, and then they just die. It's a very cool product.
Yeah,
I've had it for years.
No toxins.
No toxins.
And that's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, and it covers about an acre of land.
Okay, so Dynatraps and essential oils from
plants. Yeah, we got the answers here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Give us a call, folks, 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Here's living.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Who actually likes mosquitoes? Chances are nobody but birds and bats. Are you tired of having those pesky little insects dart around your backyard and terrorize you, attempt to hold peaceful barbecue or enjoy put on hold a peaceful barbecue or enjoy the great outdoors. Join the club. But what causes mosquitoes to attack humans anyway? Well, it turns out there is a certain odor humans emit that attracts insects. This explains why mosquitoes tend to attack those who sweat a lot.
Absolutely. And, what can you do? There is good news, folks, because there are certain smells that mosquitoes absolutely hate. And it's certain smells that cause them they'll want to steer completely away from you. We can look back to the plant kingdom, and plants emit certain scents that actually help to repel and keep you bug-free, so to speak.
Right.
One of those plants is the plant and aroma that I mentioned in our previous segment called lemon balm.
Lemon balm.
Or Melissa.
It's a plant from
it's in the mint family. It's kind of a lemony odor.
And I guess the bugs don't like it.
They don't like it. And so keep in mind, you can grow these plants, use them in your culinary adventures, and then also rub them on you, take a few leaves and crush them, or you can simply get a spray bottle and add some beautiful aloe vera.
Yeah.
Unless California eliminates aloe vera. You saw that post. I mean, how crazy is that? And you can make your own healthy bug repellent and get some skin conditioning while you're at it.
And also it helps you with your digestion and the cold sores. Which
exactly. I mean, nature has is multifactorial in its benefits.
Yeah.
Another plant is catnip, and that also helps keep the cats from prowling around too much. And really, you think of these heavily aromatic herbs seem to be the ones that the mosquitoes don't like sweet basil. So basil is going to encourage the bugs to stay away. It's
and this is another one, lavender, which I use at night to help me sleep. We humans love the smell of lavender. Insects don't. In addition to warding off mosquitoes, lavender does a great job of keeping moths and flies away as well. This plant in particular is quite good at warding off these insects when rubbed against human skin.
And we know that the beautiful benefits of lavender on our skin in any case. So, and the multiple benefits to our body's electric system.
Right.
Peppermint is also well known, not as quite as effective.
But only in an oil form is what they say.
Okay, in oil form, yeah. So peppermint oil, the essential oil, not the plant itself. They talk about citrosum, which is actually citronella family, and it's interesting because citronella type plants.
Okay.
And that's the phytochemical. They actually market it as a mosquito plant. You've heard of citronella candles.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So citronella. But there's still some doubt that it's not as effective as some of the other ones we mentioned today. So that's a little bit of a surprise. But I like this one, rosemary and sage. Rosemary and sage are so aromatic. For cooking. But how about that for sitting around a summer campfire? Throw a little rosemary and sage into the fire, keep the mosquitoes away, and at the same time enjoy that beautiful aroma.
Well, we know that from the 60s, Simon and Garfunkel sang about that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so, one of the other things, too, I notice when I'm out in the wild is if I calm my breathing down, and that seems to keep the bugs away, so being very stealthy. When you're around plants hiding in the bushes from a predator or trying to find something to eat, you're in the bushes, and that's where the mosquitoes seem to be. And it seems like if you calm yourself and be very stealthy, which you need in hunting anyway, that the mosquitoes, I don't know if you've found this or not.
Well, I haven't, but that's very interesting. I have had my own little thoughts.
Oh, okay.
That, you know how it mentioned that there's certain aromas that we would give off that would attract the mosquitoes?
Right.
My thought is when we eat a lot of sugar, that I've asked people that I believe are heavier sugar eaters or whatever, if when they're sitting outside in the summer, do the bugs bother them? And I sort of feel like they might be attracted to sweeter blood, so to speak. I don't know.
So people who have poor circulation and maybe don't sweat as much, maybe they are not so susceptible to a mosquito bite? What do you think about that?
That could be because they might have higher blood sugar. They don't move. I don't know if there's any research on that, but I think
if I'm more active, I know when I used to run quite a bit outdoors, and then I would stop and I'd be sweating, and I noticed the bugs start coming in then. So that's for sure, because you're giving off all kinds of hormones, or through your sweat and that. So I think they sense these things. But it's interesting.
But it's nice to know we can use nature and we don't have to turn to a chemical solution for these things, I believe.
And I think, too, what I've been reading on about mosquitoes in Brazil, doing some investigation on that.
On the Zika virus.
Yeah, on the Zika virus and what they used the mosquitoes for. Also, there's times when mosquitoes, really just multiply completely. And there's other times when they don't seem to. It all has to do with the seasons and the rains and how hot it is and things like that. But it does seem, too, that the other animals are incorporated in this. In other words, if you have a huge mosquito population, then more bats get born. And the bats, of course, are devouring those things. So nature has a good way, and I think disrupting that is a problem in a way too, especially with chemicals, of course.
It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature.
Yeah. So
too bad she was marketing margarine.
Yeah, she wasn't she?
It wasn't that?
Well, I mean, they always said it was from nature. Well, everything's from nature in a sense, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Uber driver who killed those people in Michigan, he was from nature too, but he wasn't doing a very good job.
Right, true.
But, so I think that messing with Mother Nature too much can be a problem. Eradicating every single mosquito, is that good? Well, that might affect the population of other things that eat mosquitoes. Mm-hmm. There may be, nature does have a balance of some kind. And there are certain people who are susceptible to these things, and they get bit by a mosquito. Maybe they get really sick. Maybe they die. But this is kind of nature's way. Nature has this thing. We are born and we die. That's inevitable. Some people die very early. Some people die later. It seems like nature doesn't really care about that. What nature cares about is the balance of things. Exactly.
And speaking of the balance, kind of to segue from this article, and we'll have to see, we talk about whether or not people make the choice to use these synthetic, if the fear has created this idea or the brainwashing, so to speak, that, that we need these man-made cocktails to be healthy. There's a article I wrote, and I didn't get to send it, or I read, but I didn't get to send to you, but it's a podcast that Mike Adams did about the hypnotic work that the pharmaceutical industry does to make you feel like you have to take ownership of these diseases and these remedies that they've created. I think that would be excellent for next week's newsletter. Yeah. So I'm going to send that to you. But maybe we can talk a little bit about, can we condition our bodies to treat themselves?
Well, I think we need to, Paige. It disturbs me that we really think we have an upstep on Mother Nature, on how things are here. We think we're better in a sense. This is dirty. Let's move it aside and let's clean it. When there might be a very good reason why the soot is there.
And the whole thing about the placebo effect.
Yes.
I mean, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't,
it's a big
you can't.
Thing. Yeah.
And so the same thing is that if you really believe that there's this healing ability of the drug your doctor prescribes, you have a greater chance of it receiving a positive benefit from that, despite the side effects. Yeah. At the same time, if you believe that the shaman's creation, the natural cure, the remedy, the concoction made by a shaman from nature is going to work, you have a great chance of getting a great benefit. And it works the opposite. If you don't trust, you don't believe.
So trust is a big thing. Of course, you have to base your trust on something besides just what your advertising is saying.
Science and spirit. But, maybe we can see if this is worth talking about after the break.
I think it is.
Yes.
Number here is 877-927-6648. Paige and I will be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Okay, welcome back. Nico.
Yes.
We were talking about, can we condition our bodies, excuse me, to treat themselves?
Yeah.
And, this has a lot to do with what I believe is the fact that if you believe you'll be well, you can be well, and if you don't have faith, that might be what you create.
Well, also, last week we talked about the natural ability for our tastes and our smells to be attracted to nutrient-dense food. So automatically, the aromas that we have, and we use a lot of artificial aromas in our living, our modern living. So I think this goes against nature in a sense. We put all these little phony things up to cover things up, and our natural ability to find nutrition is blocked in a way, and this kind of goes along with this. Can we get our bodies in such great condition that it's going to heal itself, it's going to overcome the problems that we have?
Well, I wanted to just share what was in this article.
Okay.
It was, in a nutshell, this woman had lupus since she was 11 and went through all the processes. It wreaked havoc in her body and so forth, and she was given steroids to suppress her immune system, and then the antibodies were attacking and creating blood clots in her body, and she took all kinds of drugs, barbiturates, antihypertensive, diuretics, and steroids, but her blood pressure kept rising. And then her heart started to fail, and her doctors reluctantly decided to give her Cytoxan, an extremely toxic drug. And it's well known for suppressing the immune system, but it causes a lot of side effects: vomiting, stomach aches, bruising, bleeding, kidney damage, and
liver damage, as well as infections, risk of infections and cancer.
Sounds like almost every drug, you know. And a psychologist and pediatrician who's now at Case Western University decided to help her cope with the stress and pain. She was concerned that if the lupus didn't kill the teenager, this new drug just might. So then the young lady's mother showed the psychologist a scientific paper that said it claimed to have slowed lupus in mice, but with just half the usual dose of this toxic drug, Cytoxan. Okay, so let me read you this and tell me, what does this sound like? The results were part of a well-known and seemingly mundane phenomenon that has been driving a quiet revolution in immunology. Its proponents hope that by cutting drug doses, it will not only minimize harmful side effects, but also slash billions from healthcare costs, transforming treatment for conditions such as autoimmune disorders and cancer. What's the secret, Nico? It's teaching your body how to respond to a particular medicine so in the future it can trigger the same change on its own. Well, half of that statement right there is basically the argument for homeopathy. Yeah. Getting a great result from a minimal dose. In fact, such a minimal dose that only the energetic signature.
Maybe a 1/100th of the dose or something.
Oh, it's much smaller than that. You know, when we talk about these the higher the dilution, the more powerful the homeopathic remedy.
Solution.
The solution, right.
Got a little rhyme in there for you.
Yeah, well, remember I told you
Yes.
the dilution to the solution is the solution to the pollution is dilution,
yeah.
and that's what the fluoride people argued. But we know that when things become more dilute, they actually become more powerful, and that's why we are concerned about it. That's another subject.
And that is the whole basis for homeopathy, is using these, and we always say how powerful the herbs are. No, we don't use a lot of herbs. It's not like vegetables. It's not like fruits. It's
medicine.
It's a medicine. You use a little bit spices. I consider them the same type of thing.
And the energetic signature of these natural substances,
Right.
that's what homeopathy is. It's
Right.
the energetic signature of natural substances, and these natural substances are from nature.
Yeah.
They are rocks. Gemstones. They are foods.
Yeah.
They are flowers, etc.
And that's one of the reasons that you wouldn't want to mix in pesticides, herbicides, food colorings, or any of that stuff that our modern food companies use to make this seem like a better product. It really isn't. It's nature has a funny way of packaging something just the way you need it.
So let me take this little story a little
Okay.
farther, because this
All
is
right.
very interesting,
All right.
Nico. So, have you guys ever eaten a favorite food that made you sick? Let's say shrimp, okay? And you discover that for weeks or months or years afterwards you couldn't face eating it. That's because your body has associated a negative outcome from that frequency,
Right.
okay? You've heard me tell the story, the child who says they're allergic to strawberries.
Right.
There's nothing to be allergic to in a strawberry.
Okay.
But was it the pesticides, the 500 pesticides? Could have been. Or was it that while the child was eating Captain Crunch and strawberries, the parents got in a fight, maybe something violent happened, and the child has
The
recorded that
association
association. So that's what we want to say. So, you might discover that for weeks or months after you've eaten something, you can't eat it. This effect is called learned or conditioned aversions, right? And it makes sense. Avoiding these foods that
Makes total sense.
that have poisoned you in the past protects us from getting ill again. Well, maybe that's some of the reaction we get from these these toxic drugs.
Yeah,
Our cells are reacting.
And you take that a step further and you start thinking about these violent video games, all the violence on TV, the violence on the news, and you wonder why people are going a little bit crazy and kill other people. That's all we see. And it's flashing in front of your face, just like a commercial. Doesn't matter if it's negative. Donald Trump knows this. Negative, positive, doesn't matter as long as you're in that little cycle of hearing your name every day. Is good for us. That's the way to do it. That's the way that our advertisers get us. And this kind of is along that same line.
Do you want to hear this research
Yes.
this guy did? Robert Adler worked at the University of Rochester. Okay, and he gave his animals a saccharin solution to drink, that sweet toxic chemical.
Okay.
Rats usually love the sweet taste, but for this experiment, this Dr. Adler paired the drink with injections of that cytoxin, that toxic drug we were just speaking of with this one young lady, which made them feel sick. Okay, when he later gave the animals the sweetened water alone and left the cytoxin out, okay, they refused to drink it, just as he expected. So
they
to
knew.
find out how long the learned aversion would last, he force-fed this harmless, well, we could argue whether it's not, saccharin, but this harmless drink to them using an eyedropper. But the rats never forgot that association. And instead, one by one, they died.
Wow.
Interesting. So though cytoxin is toxic, Adler's rat hadn't received anything close to a toxic dose of it. In fact, they hadn't received any of it in there. Instead, after a series of other experiments, he concluded that when the animals received the saccharin and the drug together, they hadn't just associated the sweet taste with feeling sick, they'd also learned the immunosuppression. And eventually they'd responded to the sweetened water just as they had to the drug.
Wow. Such learned associations are an important part of our daily lives. Cues prepare the body for important biological events such as eating or sex, and they trigger responses that have evolved to help us avoid or flee from danger.
So I think this is really important about the whole field of psychoneuroimmunology, the psychological effect of our neuro system and our immune system. It's a big long word, but if you just pull it apart,
Yeah.
you can see the effects
Yeah.
of what we think.
Yeah.
So think good thoughts, folks. Think positive thoughts and embrace whatever it is you choose to use to be part of your healing arsenal.
Yeah. Talk to yourself in a positive light.
Be careful, your cells are listening,
Yes.
and they're listening to your beliefs, the biology of belief.
And they probably believe more of your beliefs than other people's beliefs, so what you tell yourself is much more important than anything else.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back, folks. There's still time to take some Primal Edge and pick up our newsletter, where a new one's coming out next week, and we have one more segment left, so we will be right back. Please stick around.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
And welcome back. Nico, do you think nakedness could decode the mystery of human origins?
Well, I like nakedness. It seems like human beings are pulled towards nakedness, just pictures alone. I mean, you see...
It feels good to be naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
on the internet, there's all kinds of nakedness on there, and I think we're compelled to look at people naked. We like sexiness.
I think, though, that there's this...
I mean, women seem less likely to, at least openly.
I think it's very interesting how the American, maybe, I don't know where it evolved, but this prudentness.
Well, that's from, you use the word there, it's from Puritans.
Puritans,
yes.
Yeah, the puritanical influence really created a negative air around the naked human form. But you look at art history and the beautiful sculptures from, the Renaissance period, adoring the naked body, and somehow or another we either cover it up or we allow it to be shown in maybe a not so
Well, yeah, it's a funny thing. Yesterday I ran across a picture. It was actually a little movie of a girl in Tokyo walking around Tokyo, and she had a T-shirt on, and she had a painted Levi's on, strictly painted, completely naked underneath. And she was walking around, nobody noticed. It's the perception of what nakedness is a lot of times that affects you. Imagine walking down the street completely naked from the waist down and not being able to, nobody looked at her because nobody thought that was nakedness.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, let me read this, and I want you to give us some ideas. The human obsession with nakedness constitutes a multi-billion-dollar industry unto itself, which we think of as pornography.
Probably the largest industry.
Yeah, but that I say, there's a whole nother side to nakedness.
Okay.
It's the diabolical opposite of pornography, right?
Right.
But the fact that among hundreds of different primates, again, we are the only ones that is almost completely hairless. If you're looking at this from a genetic evolution standpoint, it's it's really rarely ever considered. Indeed, understanding human nakedness may help unlock the timeless enigma of how and where our species originated, or how we evolved, or how we were created, so to speak. And I really like that embryogenesis. Can you show them that?
Yeah, let me show you this little sketch.
Embryogenesis is the simply amazing states
Shows
that
you
the
zygote,
embryo, that the embryo undergoes, the developmental phases that recapitulate
And they
the
actually name some
morphological
of them.
evolution of our species over millions of years.
Yeah. So it starts off looking just about like any other embryo and slowly grows into...
Go to like a tadpole look,
Yeah.
then to like a fish, a salamander, to a tortoise, chick, a hog, a calf, a rabbit, and then a human. Isn't that interesting that it's kind of a span of not just, maybe we don't look at this as an evolution of time, but an evolution of genetic fine-tuning. And that's really kind of, although you might question what the humans are going to look like, the human embryo may...
Go to the mall.
Yeah, right, that's what I'm saying. You can see a little difference, but this is a fascinating article.
It's a fascinating article. Of course, we don't have complete answers. We know about Darwin's theory of the survival of the species, which seems logical, and I think that system does work. I'm just concerned about the time span. Does it take millions and millions and millions of years, or just like an electric universe says, and some of these ancient stories about the complete devastation on Earth, and that was maybe 10,000 years ago, maybe it was 5,000 years ago, maybe it was later, maybe it was sooner, but the whole Earth was flooded at one point, at least parts of it were, and species were killed and new ones pop up, and we see species popping up all the time, just out of nothing. There's something that happens and things change, and I think evolution can be very fast too. I'll just leave it at that. We're kind of out of time.
Oh yeah, this was really cool though. Maybe you should put this in the newsletter. It really talks. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you guys are good stuff. So I hope you'll tune in with us next time. Hope you have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around, folks. We really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments, you can contact us at Nico or Paige at TFNN.com. Thanks a lot.
Be well.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.